Patrick Truckton, General Manager of your Twin Eagles Country Club, coming at you today with my weekly update on the master plan. Overall, I would say it was a relatively quiet week for the master plan. Dave Humphreys did deliver right at the end of the week his revised master plan based on member feedback. The Facilities Committee will be getting together the first part of next week to review his master plan and make sure that he captured the essence of what the members were looking for in that first round of focus groups. Once they have done that, they will push it out to the membership. It'll probably be Tuesday or Wednesday, and you'll be able to see the revised master plan. Along those same lines, we'll also be getting some revised numbers too. Dave is actually working with a local general contractor to tighten up his numbers and make sure that they reflect accurately the revised master plan in today's actual real world costs. So as soon as we get those as well, we'll push those out to the membership. And once we have that out there, we'll start talking about rescheduling, or not rescheduling, but scheduling focus groups where we can sit down and, again, have some smaller conversations about different aspects of the plan, what people do and don't like. Speaking of numbers, the Finance Committee next week or the week after, first part of the following week, is planning to get together and shoot a little video where they talk about their assumptions that they use to build out the models that generated the numbers that I talked about last week. I think it's going to be a really good video because not only does it talk about this master plan, it talks about the overall capital reserve study and what the long-term needs for capital will be for this club independent of this master plan. So I think you're going to want to stay tuned for that one, and you're going to get a lot of good information out of that. So once we have all of that out too, so you're going to talk about the master plan, the numbers, and the finance, then we're going to look at rolling out that next video where we're going to kind of tie it all together, talk about the different aspects of it, not only in detail from a design standpoint, but from a cost standpoint in that next survey. So I would imagine that's probably in that 2.5 week window from now where we look at getting that out to the membership. With that, I think the last thing that's kind of been bouncing around that is sort of attached to the master plan is this idea of trail fees. That's a conversation that's still being had. But what we're realizing based on conversations with other clubs that have implemented trail fees is that the potential to really impact our master plan is not very big. We now have a surplus in the locker room, so if you're looking for a locker in the men's or ladies' locker room, we now have it, so we're not changing the count in the lockers at all per the master plan. And we're also not looking at changing the cart storage area really that much because the storage area downstairs is being driven by the floor of the restaurant upstairs. And again, in talking with clubs that have gone through it and have decided to implement trail fees, usually you're not going to know if you can reduce your cart fleet for 2 to 3 years after you roll out a trail-free program. So if the club decides to do that, we wouldn't actually get a sense of how much we could reduce our fleet, if we could reduce our fleet at all, for a couple of years. And actually, a lot of them that have reduced their fleet, it's only been by a very small percentage, anywhere from 5 to 10%. So that would help us on an operational cost standpoint, but it really wouldn't fundamentally change the design of our master plan at all. So speaking of operational costs, though, that is something that we're working on as well, trying to get some pro formas together on what this place would look like from a cost standpoint to run in the future if we roll out all of these different facets. I think it's going to be important for the membership to not only understand the capital cost, but the operating cost as well. So that's still a little ways away from being done, but we're definitely going to have that ready for you to look at long before we ask you to vote on anything. So I think with that, that's all I have for you this week, and I look forward to seeing you around the club. Thanks very much.